I'm Chad Barela, founder of The Common Company. Today I'm designing and building a one-of-a-kind bolo tie, and I'm going to use a piece of Royston turquoise from my private collection. This is the fifth and final piece of a series I've been working on. The question is, what will this stone become? Royston is one of those stones that tells you what it wants to be. Every piece has its own personality. The matrix, the color variation, the way the greens shift in different light. This one has been sitting in my collection waiting for the right design. This is its moment. Not only do I want to design a timeless piece, I want this bolo to rhyme with the other bolos in this series. To do this, I'll use some of the same stamps from the previous four, but I'll find a unique pattern to frame the stone. Most people don't know this, but the great silversmiths of the Southwest have their own exclusive selection of stamps they've either inherited or made themselves. These are often formed from recycled steel rebar, used files, nail punches, or even nails for that matter. For this bolo, I can only use a few of them, but that doesn't necessarily limit the possibilities. This is the moment everything either comes together or it doesn't. The corners first, which means I'm establishing the frame before I fill the interior. Everything radiates from these points. Once they're set, I'm going to layer in a decorative stamp around them. That upper line of stamps becomes the boundary, the frame that will eventually become the scalloped edge. Every mark is building toward the final shape. Once the upper boundary is set, I'm introducing two rays pointing inward toward the stone. They draw the eyes straight to the center. We're not even that far into this, and I'm already seeing where this is headed. At this point, it's just process. Strike, rotate, repeat. I'm committing to the decisions we've made. Once it's in metal, it stays. Okay, so I may have gotten a little carried away there with the stamping, and I noticed something that I wasn't originally planning for. And on the insides here, where the dots are, the little circles, I was planning for those to be closer together because I had an end pattern, a connecting pattern planned that I wanted to tie in with one of the other bolos in the series. But the gaps are a little bit further, and so I'm gonna have to improvise and figure out how I can tie this together. Fill some space, not leave too much empty. Wasn't what I originally planned for. I did have an idea in mind, but things like this could be happy accidents. I'm just gonna have to figure out a way to tie this in together a little different than I initially planned for. Let's see what I can come up with. I've got too much space where I didn't plan for it. The original idea won't work here, so I'm testing. I'm pulling stamps I didn't use on the other pieces. I'm looking for what fits. Each one changes the feel of the space. I'm testing what connects this gap, what makes this bolo distinct from the rest of the series. Sometimes the piece tells you what it needs. I know what stamps I'm using now, but I won't know if it actually works until it's in the metal. I have to try to find out. That's the moment of truth. It worked. Better than what I originally planned, but we're not done. The sides still need detail. I'm pulling ideas from what we've already established, keeping the language consistent across the piece. I'm also thinking in 3 dimensions. Once we add the repoussé, these stamps will have peaks and valleys. I need marks that will read well when they're elevated. Okay, I think I like how this is going. The little accident that we had earlier with the gap, the details a little bit too far apart. I think that was great in that it gave us the ability to put some Thunderbirds on top and bottom. Classic Southwest icon. Wasn't originally in the plan or in my imagination, but we made it work and something cool came out of it, so that's pretty fun. Also too, the side details, I think it's great. The piece overall is very balanced. It's not too busy. There was a good amount of space on top and bottom of the stone. I think we filled that out properly. And so now it's balanced. I don't want to overdo it. I want to kind of stop where we're we're ahead. I don't want to ruin something that's already nice. So the only thing I have to do now is I have to close out the frame pattern. The reason I have to do that is so that we have continuation of the line that I can then cut out on the outsides, file, create the side dimensions that I'm after here. And then once that's done, we get to clean it up, file it up, and then we can do the bump outs, the repoussé work. You push it out from the back end and it gives it the peaks and valleys and dimension that I think makes a piece really special and unique. So let's get to it. This is where the piece finally becomes itself. I'm cutting away the excess, everything that doesn't serve the design. But I can't cut too close. One slip and detail is gone forever. Then filing the scallops we stamped at the beginning. Each one deepened, defined. The silhouette frames everything. It has to be right. Repoussé is a technique most modern silversmiths have abandoned, but it does something that stamps alone can't. It transforms a flat design into something with real depth. Every part of this base catches light differently. Over time, as the piece is worn, those surfaces will develop a patina that tells its own story. It's the difference between a sketch and a finished painting. It's where the design comes alive. Now I'm creating the vessel for the stone, soldering silver walls that will hold the Royston secure, giving it a home. The figure 8 clasp is simple, just silver bent into shape. No hinges, no springs. The leather passes through and tension holds it in place. So this is what the stone became, and it turned out better than I originally thought. If you'd like to join us in our journey of preserving tradition, please consider liking and subscribing. It's one of the best ways to support the work that goes into these videos and lets us know to keep making them. Also, this bolo is a part of a limited collection of 5 one-of-a-kind pieces. See the full collection at thecommon.co before they're gone.